Welcome to the Unlinked Standup. I'm Brad Hutchings. I'm going to lead this one. I'm joined by.
My name is Louis Riera. Just Lou is fine as well.
All right, and we're also joined by Selman. Tell us who you are, Mr. El Gato. Domo Origato El Gato.
No, I think that's not correct. I need to.
You're good. I got you.
Okay.
I got you. Tell us who you are. We're live. We're going. Okay, don't tell us who you are. Oh,
wait. Technical difficulties.
Okay.
Our tech expert.
It's all right. Anyway, tell us who you are, Salman.
Yeah. So, hey. So this is Soman here. And
all right. So we're going to start this. We're going to start this the way no tech stand-up ever starts, and that is we're each going to say what we've been doing like in our lives outside of work. So I'm going to start, and I will tell you that yesterday we had a big rainstorm Where did he go? Yesterday we had a big rainstorm in Minden, Nevada, and there's thunder and everything else, and we have a lot of soil here, and I've been working hard to clear a horse pasture and clear it of weeds and debris and all sorts of stuff. And the rain loosened up the sand, and I was able to clear about half the pasture. So I was really, really happy with that. Roman, while you were away, I was telling them we're starting off our stand-up meeting by talking about what we've done recently in our personal lives outside of work, the way no business stand-up should ever start. But we're going to start on a human note. So, Lou, you're second. What are you up to?
So this weekend I went to Minnesota celebrate one of my cousin's weddings. And pretty much all of my family lives all over there, maybe like 50 to 60 cousins over in Minnesota. So we had a pretty big party, and it was very fun.
Awesome. Solman, what have you been up to outside of work?
Outside of work, do I work at all? Basically, so only serious thing that I'm trying to do besides taking care of my health is finally write a book on popular science book on theoretical computer science. So I have the architecture, and I have Claude, which is like $20 per month, which is fine. It's totally good. $20 per month is totally justifiable. Not an issue at all. So nice. So basically, so I'm basically slowly making progress towards understanding of the architecture that I have. It's a simple math, but it's heavy math for a popular science book. So I like to have so they see the project is interesting because there should have been a book on this this simple proof of primality is in P, not in NP. It's very simple math actually, but it is expert level math, and it's a challenge to do a book for popular science. And as you know, mathematics is really advancing in leaps and bounds, but there is not enough work in popular domain to catch up to the gap.
Awesome.
So that's basically what is seriously doing. Other than that, my days pass doing unserious things.
Very good.
Like posting on LinkedIn and all those things. Yeah.
Very good. Lou, you're up now. Why don't you tell us what you wanted to talk about today?
So I was just reading the article that I shared on that comment about the new digital fingerprints that people are trying to enforce on the AI fakes, starting in California. The main thing I want to bring up here is it seems that they're just really now starting to want to create a cascade of other solutions that they can sell you now that, the whole AI LLM stuff is really just not going as planned as, where they wanted to head. So now we have to have these different technologies that are going to detect the fake stuff that they initially wanted to, throw upon society.
Yeah.
So now it's just going to be a competition of trying to outsmart each other and see who has the truth, which is kind of weird that we're doing this at this point. So that's kind of like also jumping onto Soman's article from the other day about tech leadership not being actual leadership. I think that people like yourself, Brad, or Soman, and others that I've met on LinkedIn do have a vision of being able to not only progress technologically, but also help in the human domain, make sure that we're not also going downhill and at the same time.
That's awesome. That's pretty cool. I like that. I like that you just totally skipped over the kind of the important part of, to me, the important part of the story, which is that, Anthropic has already co-opted a state legislature to write a regulation requiring this stuff, these digital fingerprints. And so they'll be able to argue that, their competitors aren't complying with this law, or open source isn't complying with this, or whatever else. And certainly on the private and local front, I will be my stuff's never going to have a fingerprint. You'll be able to have an LLM write your LinkedIn post in its own style without crippling it with a fingerprint. You know how those work, by the way?
The stuff that they're trying to inject into the text.
Yeah, the digital fingerprints on text. It's crazy because what they do is they sort of keep it as like token by token. It conforms to, I'd almost call it like a parity bit. They divide the available tokens into typically two sets, and then what they do is every alternating token has to be from one of those sets, or maybe they do every third token, or maybe they do every fourth token. But the point is that you can take a paragraph that it's written, and you can detect just by which set each token is in that paragraph was generated, or the whole piece was generated, or whatever else. So you can imagine what that's going to do to the outputs. It's just going to screw them up more, which will be we'll see how long people like that. They don't seem to be very happy about it on LinkedIn. Soma, do you know anything about that?
No. I think I need to pick up on that one. The what's coming up for the legislature, but generally, like there is this concern that there needs to be some kind of systematic way or infrastructure to basically stop the progress of AI slop in general media. So what's happening is that we know this already, that the society is currently dominated by social media, and there's in general concern that AI has already made it to a, but to what extent, and when this data feeds back into training again, what will happen to that? There is a general concern. So I do not know how this will be solved, but the LinkedIn has taken steps. Substack has taken steps. I think almost all platforms, by Facebook has taken steps. I saw a few posts other day which clearly marked AI this thing, right? AI content. So yeah, I don't know where this is going to go, but if the purpose of AI is to basically bring more and more number of better informed people to society, I don't think that is happening, and I do not know whether it will happen yet or not, because you can make some prediction, right, by looking at the students, and it's really very horrifying. Uh, One professor in a white letter at the end of a question in white letter, he put some nonsensical sentence about Madagascar.
Yeah.
and that got basically out of 35 students, 32 I think got caught. This is very sad, and I'll that's why I'll stick by this statement. Whether more and more informed people are coming online to the society, I do not know. Most likely it's not.
I think we're going to need the Facebook glasses, just so we can, as we go through life and we're like reading signs or we're watching a PowerPoint or something like that, that it can decode the text, and then it can detect whether that was written by a machine, if it's fingerprinted or fingerprinted. It's fingerprint is not the word. What's the word, Lewis?
Digital footprint.
Watermarked. Yes. If it's watermarked or not watermarked, that'll be pretty. So then we'll have to wear the glasses so that we know, even though we find them absolutely objectionable to have, I would never want anybody around me wearing those glasses. That would be creepy. But, if it's so we can combat slop, AI slop, keep it from taking over the world, then it's our patriotic duty. Soman, what's your big item for the discussion?
Yes, just one quick thought, so Cory Doctor, right, who is a basically very noted critic and post-50 critic, he's basically more than 50 years old. So he has written a book on this. It's basically a strange title, Reverse Centaur. And the centaur is that, the tech industry says that, hey, use AI to become a centaur, in the sense that you have now extension to your arms and legs and power, brain power and such and such, right? But what actually ends up in happening, and I bought the book and I'm reading it, but what's actually ending up in happening is that instead of centaur, basically reverse centaur is happening. Basically, people are becoming more weak instead of becoming stronger. People are folding or capitulating like anything. So the exact opposite is happening. Instead of centaur, reverse centaur. That's why the title of the book, and it's unfortunate because centaur itself is an unfamiliar term, and then you do reverse centaur, another unfamiliar term. But it's a popular book. I hope it picks up. But so far, with AI, instead of being centaur, exact opposite is happening with the reverse centaur.
So wait. So what you're saying is, instead of becoming centaurs, we're becoming turtles.
Okay.
But not like the Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles. We're becoming like little turtles that are turtling up and getting in our shells, and our little human heads poke out, and people think we're weird when that happens.
Yeah, so I like this kind, so I generally want to stay away from theorizing, because I have a heavy liking for theory, but I think it's very dangerous to, at least public speaking, like this forum, do theorizing.
Well, this isn't public. We're just having a stand-up meeting.
So, but even in other podcasts and all those things, right? Like, I want to be really very careful. So I basically heavily tap into from my real life experience. So I'll just tell you, my daughter was there with us for 1 week, and it was mostly laser trip. But in between, she just tried to started making progress on one paper. So the process is very simple. Like, you basically download, print a paper, maybe around 30 pages long, and then you basically see whether there is a better way of doing things. Mm-hmm. I don't want to say too many things, the research process and what happens, how you write paper. Anyway, she got her PhD and all those 6 years, long years of work in CNU. That's fine. But what I want to say is that the critical thinking skill, or basically, to take your finger and poke a little bit in the knowledge frontier, right? So through your critical thinking or convincing skill and all those things, little finger and little bit poking, right? It is very, very difficult. And it's becoming even more challenging, because there are so many voices. The technology is so fluid. People can basically get online, say all those things. Right? The critical thinking is very difficult it has become very, challenging to acquire, and it is not God gifted. It is basically very hard work, and if the reverse centaur thing keeps on happening, I'm very pessimistic about how it will turn out. But yeah, there can be other outcome, but as of now, there are many preponderance of evidence that it is going the other way.
Yeah. So I have been, say, the past few days, deliberating about deliberation, and tell you how this comes in. I need to rename my product. I've got Mojo Server and I've got Mojo Appliance, and they're very the Mojo thing, that part of the name is going to stay. That's the brand name. I dig the brand name. But calling it Mojo Server and calling it Mojo Appliance basically means that the three of us and people like us who understand technical